Hi friends, I'm really excited to share this video with you. It is using some new stamp sets from our holiday catalog that starts September 4th, 2019. And it's using Nature's Beauty. I know I recently just did another video using this set, and I have one more after this one also using this stamp set. So I've been using this one a lot. I love it. This card was for a swap that I participated in with other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and I just love how it turned out. So let me go ahead and show you the beautiful designer series paper. This paper is called Feels Like Frost, and it's a specialty paper. So I'm going to show you the patterns on one side first. Just absolutely sensational. And it comes 6 by 6. And all the links will be in my description below as well as on my blog. Just gorgeous. And then the back side has all the beautiful silver. It's spectacular. This paper is absolutely spectacular. Okay, so now you've seen the beautiful paper. I am going to use this piece and pick another piece that I want to use. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that piece. My card base is crumb cake, and this measures 8.5 by 5.5. So when it's folded, it's our standard 4.25 by 5.5. So now I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 4 by 5.25. So I'm just taking the second largest rectangle die, and I'm going to run that through. And this is the piece I'm going to use on my card. But I'm going to save that because we need that piece as well. Then I'm taking this piece and I'm cutting out the same size, the same die. Okay, so there's my piece cut. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, that inside piece, that inside Whisper White piece, I cut it into two pieces. These both measure 4.25 by 2. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to cut the tops with my scallop tag top punch. Just slide it in, punch it out. Okay, so now I've taken another rectangle die that fits in there nicely, and I'm going to also run that through my die cutting machine. And I'm also setting this piece aside. So you really use up a lot of the pieces that are cut out on this card. Can you guys tell it's morning? I can hear it in my voice. I'm drinking my coffee as I'm filming this. It's like 6 in the morning. Okay. Okay, so now I have this tag, and then the other one, which is going to go behind this tag. The other thing that I cut out was a little snowflake, and I cut this out using my little snowflake die that is part of the Seasonal Layers Thinlits. So this is a little embellishment I'm going to come back to soon. Okay, I'm going to put some of this card together, and I'm just going to glue this right on to the front of my crumb cake. And then this piece that I cut out is going to go on the inside. There's that pretty silver background. You guys are going to love this paper. It's sensational. Did I mention that? I think I did. I really love this paper. Our whole holiday catalog is so amazing that after 17 years of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm still overwhelmed. I was completely overwhelmed when I seen the holiday catalog. That's how amazing and wonderful it is. Look how pretty that is. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside. And this little piece here is what I'm going to stamp on. And I'm stamping the fox. So I'm just putting him on my block. And I'm going to stamp my fox with my StazOn because I'm going to color it with my ink pads. On my last video, I used my watercolor pencils with this stamp set. And I'm going to do a video showing you slower how I colored my images with the watercolor pencils because I had a lot of comments about that. It's actually really easy, so I will do one with my watercolor pencils as well. Okay, so there's my little fox. So to color this guy in, I'm using my crushed curry and Cajun craze. I'm going to start with my crushed curry on that side. And I have my paper towel. Get some of that water off my aqua painter. And I'm just picking up some of the ink from the lid. And I'm going to add a little wash of color up at the top of his head. I'm going to leave his cheeks and his chest white. I couldn't remember where the color went on a fox, so I actually did a little Google image search to look at some pictures of foxes, and that's how I got the idea to leave his little cheeks and chest white. We're gonna go back with that yellow in a few minutes, but now I'm bringing in my Cajun craze. Pick up some of that color. And I'm going right on top where I've just colored. Going over his eyes. And now I'm just bringing in some more of that Cajun craze. And I'm just kind of following where these darker lines are. And that's where I'm adding some more color. And this fox is going to get cut out. So when you're doing this, don't worry about being completely in the lines. If you're going to use this card to sign for yourself. And adding a bit more up here. Down his nose. Now I'm bringing my crushed curry back and I'm just adding a little bit more of that yellow because I find it just kind of brightens it up. And if you look at the colors of foxes online, these are the two colors I kind of thought blended nicely to copy the color of a fox's fur. And that's it. There he is. So again, I'll do a video using my watercolor pencils and then you can see the different ways that you can color all these little critters. Okay, so I'm going to cut out my fox, but I am leaving these little bits for the snow. And I'm going to trim off the bottom just a little bit. So we're not going to worry about the sides because they're going to be hidden behind the tag, and a little bit of his tail is going to be hidden. So we're just going to see this little bit right here on each side of the fox, and that's where I'm going to put some glitter when we put that together. So now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut that. Okay, so I've cut this little piece of paper out to measure 1 3/4 by 3 1/2, and I'm going to glue this onto my tag. My glue doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay, because this is going to get put on top. So then I've got the little design behind it. Okay, so now it's time to glue the fox onto this tag. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue right on the bottom middle. Just like that. And then I'm positioning it right onto my fox. And it's okay if you're missing some of that little tail down there. That's alright. And I cut a little bit too much off the sides. But that's okay too because I'll have a little glitter in there so you won't even tell. And then I'm going to trim off this excess. I'm going to bring this pad back in so it's a bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so I'm taking my Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm going to cut some in half and get some tinier pieces. And I'm just going to put a few around the tag. And then put some regular size dimensionals on the top and the bottom. Okay. Yeah, those little bits show, so I'm going to trim those off. Okay, and I think I'm going to put a couple in the corner. I'm going to take this piece and cut it. Are you like me? Do you use every little bit of the dimensionals? I don't throw any away. There we go. Okay, and now I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to start at the bottom, lining it up that direction. So now I have that little 3D look for my tag. Isn't that cool, you guys? Imagine using this paper too, with all that pretty color behind here. I'll show you some pictures of all the different cards I made. Same exact card, but with the different papers behind it. Just gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glue and put a little bit on the snow and a little bit underneath that box and on each side. Now I'm taking our new ice Stampin' glitter, which is in the Holiday Catalogue. I'm going to sprinkle that on. And it's got all that pretty snow on there. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this to the front of my card. And this looks pretty whether it's glued on a slant. It looks pretty if it's slanted on here, but I'm going to put it on straight up and down, which is how I did my card swaps. Okay. I'm going to set that aside for a second. Now I'm bringing in the Merry Christmas to All, and I'm using the Wishing You Peace and Love All Year Long. As you can see from the stamp set, there's no sentiments, and I love that I can use this for any season, any occasion, Christmas, birthdays, masculine cards. So I'm obviously making this a Christmas card, and I'm going to stamp this with my pretty peacock. This is just a scrap piece of crumb cake that I have. Now I'm bringing my Merry Christmas dies. And where is it? There it is, right in front of me. I'm going to use this die to cut it out. Now when I position this to run it through the big shot, I'm lining this edge up to the right along here because I'm going to trim it off on the left side. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through my die cutting machine just like that. So now I'm going to trim this off. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right across the top. And I'm lining up the cut edge over here, and look how it fits so perfectly. Okay, now for the snowflake, I'm going to put some glitter on that. And you can do this a couple different ways. You could just sponge on some glue or however you want. I'm just randomly adding a bit of glue here and there. Sprinkle on some of that beautiful new glitter. I'm just going to tap it into that snowflake a little bit. Okay, so I've got a brand new pack of rhinestones. And I pick up a big one and put that right in the center of that snowflake. Now on my card swaps, I used pearls, and I colored the pearls with my Stampin' Blends. So if I had a pink background, I had a pink pearl in there, and if I had a blue background, I had a blue pearl. And now I'm just putting in a rhinestone. And to finish this card, I'm just taking some of our Sahara Sand and Navy Blue Twine. Blue dot, and I'm going to set it down right kind of in the middle of that little tag bit, and then push that into the glue dot. Then I have my computer paper, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4. I'm just going to tuck that inside, and I can stamp it or just leave it to write my message. But there is my card. Isn't that pretty, you guys? I love this, and you can make a whole bunch of these using all that gorgeous designer series paper and get all different cards using the same layout. So I will show you pictures, like I mentioned earlier, of the different swaps I made using the different colors, but this is actually quite an easy card to put together. It's just a matter, if you were to mass produce them, I would just cut out all your pieces, stamp and color all your little foxes and cut them out, and then just assemble them. And that's what I did for my swaps, and it went together pretty quickly, surprisingly. The designer series paper does a lot of the decorating for you because it is so gorgeous. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I hope you have a lot of fun making this card. Happy stamping!